Welcome everyone. You're watching the K.J Picks, and let's get right into week 17 of football. Now, week 17 I find is extremely hard to predict. I usually get my picks really messed up on week 17 because you just never know with the teams that just don't care anymore. For instance, the Bills play the Jets. Now, who should I pick here? Should I pick the Jets or should I pick the Bills? Because, okay, 88% of the people are picking the Bills, but the Bills have nothing to play for. The Jets have nothing to play for. I mean, they might mess around at QB a little bit. You never know where these games are going. Same thing with Steelers and Browns. Okay, that's maybe a bit easier because the Browns don't want to win this game. If they do win this game, they might lose Myles Garrett to the 49ers. And they don't want that happening. Nobody would want that happening. Other games, Panthers Buccaneers also would. I don't know who to pick here. It's just very hard predicting this week. To give you a little look at how I've been doing this entire season, I have a overall season win percentage of 63%, which is beating out Marshall Falk, who has 62, Michael Irvin has 64. Steve Marucci has 62 and Kurt Warner has 64. So I beat out two of the experts and was just 1% under Kurt Warner and Michael Irvin, who so far won this week or this season at predicting the games. And I am a nice 63%. Excuse me. All right, let's get into the picks, however. So the first pick of the day, like I said, Bills at Jets, and as I said before, hard game to predict, but I am not gonna predict upset here. I have been predicting against the odds a lot this week, but I'm not gonna do it here. I just think the Bills are better. Tyrod Taylor isn't as bad as people think. The Bills have a decent quarterback in Tyrod Taylor. I don't know why they really want to get rid of him so badly. There's other teams that have it worse, much worse, and they're not complaining. So that's a weird situation they're in. I'd suggest just keeping Tyrod Taylor. He seems fine to me, especially after I signed that 4-year, $84 million contract 2 years ago, I think it was. So I would not be surprised if the Jets win. I would be kind of pissed off because I had them winning originally, but now I changed my pick to the Bills. Alright, next one, the Browns at Steelers, and I'm surprised this is not 100% for the Steelers, and the only way I see this not being 100% Steelers is people thinking, or let's say the Steelers playing badly, or just playing their backups, of course, because we saw, and Mike Tomlin said, okay, so Mike Tomlin said, Big Ben, he isn't playing, Antonio Brown, he isn't playing, Lev Bell isn't playing. That's exactly what we want to know from all of these coaches to predict these games. Unfortunately, we haven't heard it from everyone. Mike Tomlin, we have heard it from, however. So that's nice. Still predicting the Steelers. The Browns, if Hugh Jackson wins this game, I as a Browns fan would be really pissed off at him, and as the team, of course, because they did win, or they would be winning in that scenario. It would lose you Myles Garrett, and you want Myles Garrett. You want that number 1 pick, and I'm convinced they're taking Myles Garrett. Not Jonathan Allen, not, I don't know, Mitch Trubisky at 1, whoever came up with that one. That's just horrible. Alright, so Steelers over the Browns here, easy. I'd say the Steelers have a better chance of winning, but I don't think they're going to beat the spread even, maybe 17-13, maybe somewhere around there. Yeah, that seems about right. I didn't tell you the score for the Bills-Jets game. I'd say it's going to be another kind of low-scoring one, maybe 21-18, 21-17 maybe. How about 21-16 for the Bills against the Jets? That seems about right. The Jets probably going to go back to Ryan Fitzpatrick. Oh well. Next one is Panthers at Buccaneers. In Tampa Bay, the Panthers must play. So, the Panthers, interestingly enough, could have been a playoff team if they hadn't started, I don't know, 1-5, 2-5, 1-4, somewhere around that. I think they're kind of back to the old Panthers, not the 15-1 Panthers. I think they could have went 10-6 this season. That if they hadn't had that start, 10-6 would have seemed like a seemed like an okay record. Ow, I got something in my eye real quick. Ow. Anyway, Panthers, I think they're going to win this game. And this is against the odds. Panthers have 19% currently. Predicting for the Panthers. The Bucks, they're not making the playoffs anyways. I see somehow it's still like possible if the Redskins and the Giants tie. I mean, seriously, Bucks, just give up. After they lost to the Saints, that pretty much did it for me. Ever since that Cowboys game, they've not been their selves anymore. Bucks are going to lose to the Panthers here, I say. It might not even be close. It might be close though. We never know. So 26 to 20, or they already have that score, didn't they? Now 29 to 23, somewhere around that. Texans in Tennessee, and this also a hard game to predict because who the hell cares? No, really. I'm just gonna say Texans because the Titans don't even want to win. If they won, they would be around slot 18. If they lose, they'll be around 14. That's 4 picks in the draft. They would move up or down depending. And I just don't see them winning anyways. Matt Castle is going to throw some picks. They're going to hand it to DeMarco Murray a lot. He might get something done, but ultimately the Texans might win this. Probably are going to win this one. 16 to 10 maybe, somewhere around there. Bears, Vikings, and here, I would really not be surprised if the Bears just handed it to Jordan Howard. Maybe Matt Barkley's not going to throw 5 interceptions for once, and they end up winning against the Vikings, because the Vikings are bad. The Vikings are in trouble. They're really, really bad, and I don't know what they're going to do. No first rounder, no fourth rounder, or I think that is the case, no first and no fourth, because people were thinking, oh, that fourth is going to turn into a second when the Vikings make the Super Bowl, but they're not making the Super Bowl. That is just hilarious. Anyways, what are they going to do next year? Is Teddy coming back, or are they going to start Sam Bradford again? In other means, is Teddy coming back, or are they going to trade Sam Bradford again? So, or both. I wouldn't be surprised if the Bears win here. I'm not going to pick it, however. Let's say Vikings. Another low-scoring game. I don't know if most of these games are going to be not interesting at all, but then we have the Packers and Lions game, for instance, which is going to be amazing. So, this game's, I'm just saying Vikings, maybe, they're not going to score more than 2 touchdowns anyways, maybe 20 to 12, sure. Then, Cowboys Eagles, I'm surprised at how many people are picking the Cowboys. I wouldn't be too surprised if they win. But what do they have to play for, really? They have nothing to play for. I don't know if they're going to start Dak and Zeke. I would start them just to, like, get them really hot. Like, maybe they'll even, like, have a great game, get into that MVP voting again. That makes it even hotter than they were before. So, I'd say they should start their starters, even risking injury. It just need them to get, like, in the mood, get them hot for the playoffs. But I'm predicting the Eagles no matter. Anyways, so maybe 23 to 17 Eagles here. Cowboys really have nothing to play for. 13-3 season for the Cowboys is amazing. 14-2 is amazing. So it's okay. It's okay, Cowboys fan, if you lose this one. Don't even be worried about it. As for the Eagles, I think they're actually a decent team. Doug Peterson started well, then he like dropped off completely, and then they beat the Giants in primetime. And I think that was an important game to both, no, more to the Eagles. I wouldn't freak out too much as a Giants fan after that game, as I told you before. But I think it does have a meaning for the Eagles. They just showed that they can beat teams, especially at home. They can just like win on the road, and they would actually be a decent team. And I think next season this division is going to be absolutely scary. It's already scary this year, but it's going to be even scarier next year, as every team might go over 500. That might even be one of my bold predictions. Oh, I'm so excited for the offseason and next season and the playoffs and everything, basically. So, Patriots Dolphins, and this is the game I'm so excited for. I could just see the Patriots blowing out the Dolphins, maybe like by 10 points at least, but I would totally jump on the Dolphins hype train that I'm already standing on with maybe 1 foot and an arm, but at that point I would be in first class section of the freaking Dolphins hype train, because if they do manage to go 11-5 after a 1-4 start, they've just been winning out. They've been winning. Close games against the 49ers, maybe against the Bills, bad teams like those two, but nonetheless, it's a win. And if they can prove to win again against the Patriots, who still have something to play for, if they can beat Tom Brady, Belichick, and his team, that would be absolutely amazing. I don't know if it's going to happen or not, though. So I'm predicting the Patriots. I wouldn't be too worried as a Dolphins fan if you just lose by the standard 2 touchdowns that any team would lose by to the Patriots, basically. Alright, next game I was really close to picking upset here. Jaguars Colts. I think this Jaguars game we saw against the Titans last week or 2 weeks ago, I think it was last week, that is the Jaguars team we've all been wanting to see this entire season, and I think we might actually see it. And that's the only thing that worries me, or not worries me, because I'd be happy for the Jaguars. I'd be happy to mix this division up again to get every team about 800, about 500 next season. Just don't know if it's really going to happen, and I could see the Jaguars dropping this one to the Colts. It's going to be maybe 20-17 for the Colts, but I do see how the Jaguars could get up back to their old team. And I said it before, they have a decent team. I don't know if Blake Bortles is the guy, but they do have a good team. On defense, they have freaking Malik Jackson, Myles Garrett, Jalen Ramsey, all these guys. And on offense, they have a mediocre running back, a mediocre quarterback. But then they have Allen Robinson, Marquise Lee. They have Julius Thomas. They have an okay offensive line. On paper, this team is not bad. Gus Bradley and Blake Bortles are kind of bad, though. Gus Bradley's gone, and see there, you won a game without him, so good job. Ravens Bengals, and another game I did not know if I was going to predict upset or not, but I've been too boring this week with not predicting upsets and always saying I'm so close to predicting them, but I end up don't predicting them, and this time I will. And that does not mean I don't think the Ravens are better than the Bengals. I think both of these teams are better than their records say. The Ravens are could be a 10-6 team. They may be old, but this was the year they could have proven to go to the playoffs and be a good team when they still have Terrell Suggs and Steve Smith and Marshall Yanda and all these great players, and Justin Tucker, by the way. Justin Tucker has got them at least 3 or 4 wins. MVP candidate, right? No, he's definitely best kicker of the year. Like, no one's even close to him. That's amazing. Anyway, predicting the Bengals here. None of these teams have anything to play for. Steve Smith might ball out and is most likely in that last game, right? 89% sure it's his last game. But the Bengals are trying to salvage their season a little bit, although I think if they end up going 5-10-1, that's close to like 4-12, or what? No, not 4-12, 5-11. After you've went 13-3, or what was it, 12-4? That is embarrassing, Cincinnati. That's why I have you winning here, just salvaging a little tiny bit. Don't see it making too much of an effect, but maybe your players aren't gonna like cry too much after the season. Next game is Chiefs-Chargers. I heard one of the NFL experts say this is the classic Phillip Rivers spoiler game, and it is. But who's Phillip Rivers going to throw it to? Tyrell Williams, Dontrell Inman? Yeah. Not good receivers. Tyrell Williams is actually good, but he'll drop a ball or two. Dontrell Inman, if he's wide open, he's going to catch the ball and going to get caught by, I don't know, someone slow like anyone in the Chiefs secondary, whatever. Dontrell Inman is going to catch the ball if he's wide open. Otherwise, he's not going to catch the ball. Okay, that's just the truth. And Kenneth Farrow, oh my God, Kenneth Farrow, just get out of San Diego. I mean, I don't mean this to offend, like, Kenneth Farrow himself, but we've all seen Kenneth Farrow is not the thing. He can't do it. It's unfortunate, but he can't do it. I don't know what else to say about this game. Chiefs are gonna win it. Phillip Rivers spoiler game could happen, and I wouldn't be amazingly surprised, but Chiefs could definitely, the Chargers will definitely, or most likely, lose this game. Seahawks 49ers, and this is a clear pick. If the Seahawks lose this, they are in so deep trouble. I cannot even imagine it. So the Seahawks are gonna win here. Okay, Seahawks. start your starters, because it is kind of important. Then get the win and blow them out by at least 24 points. That's your mission here. You want to get your fans ready. You want to get your team hyped up, and you don't want to get a 10 or point win like you usually do against bad teams like the Rams, where you might even lose. So just destroy the 49ers, kick San Francisco's teeth in, and I'd like the 49ers, trust me. San Francisco is a great city, love it. But there's no doubt that Seattle is better at every position. There's just no question being had here. If the Seahawks lose, they're in absolutely deep trouble, and I would make them lose to any team in the playoffs if they actually manage to lose against the 49ers here. But the Seahawks are their Super Bowl contenders like always. They can go like 10-5-1, which is not great, but they're gonna be Super Bowl contenders at the end of the year no matter what. They're gonna win their wild card game if they do have to go to wild card. Don't even worry about it, Seattle, but worry about winning this game. And then you're back to your old self in the playoffs like you always are. Cardinals Rams, I can see Bruce Arians just pulling a Bruce Arians again, like this entire season has been for the Cardinals, just losing to a bad team as the Rams, but that's not going to happen to me. Rams have lost, 10 straight games now, and they're going to lose like 11 straight games now, or somewhere around that, maybe like 12 out of their last 13 they've lost, no, 11 out of their last 12. They don't even have 12 losses this season. They will after this game, I'm predicting, though. The Cardinals, they're going to be back to Super Bowl contenders last year, I'm sure. Bruce Arians has to get a good start. If the team's going good, Bruce Arians is a good coach. If the team's going bad, he can't get them out of that hole they've dug themselves into. So, Cardinals win here. I am predicting, and it's a confident pick that the Cardinals are going to win this game. Raiders Broncos. Now we get to the interesting stuff. I'm predicting the Broncos, and I'm predicting the Raiders to drop the seed 5. And I don't want this to happen. I really want the Raiders to win. Trust me, this is a bit of bias going into here. Bias has not turned me around, though. I like the Raiders way more than I like the Broncos. And that says a lot, being a Chargers fan. But the Broncos, they've just screwed over the Chargers so many times. But let's not talk about that, because I'm here to give you a neutral opinion of this, and I'm still picking the Broncos. Broncos, they cannot score. The Raiders cannot score, however, with Matt McGloin. Nobody can score with Matt McGloin. I'm thinking about just changing my pick here, because I don't want to sit in front of the TV rooting for one team and then kind of rooting for the other one just because I want my pick to be right. You know what? I don't even care. It's changing my pick right now. Raiders going to win it. And to be fair, the Broncos have not been scoring points their last games, and this game is meaningless. Trevor Siemian, Paxton Lynch is going to play both. Paxton Lynch is going to be horrible. Trevor Siemian is going to be okay, like he always is. Just get the win here, Raiders. And actually, this would get them the number 1 seed. A win is 1 seed, a loss is 2 seed if the Patriots lose. Don't see that happening, but possible for the Raiders. You have all to play for Raiders. Matt McGloin, give it your all. Alright, Saints against Falcons. Not much to say about this game. I say Falcons, but the Falcons have not much to play for, except moving up the seeds a bit. They could get 2nd seed, I believe, I think they almost have it locked up as well. I don't see another NFC team. I would say Seahawks, but in 9-5-1, they can't make it anymore, or can they? Yeah, they can. If the Seahawks win, the Falcons lose. So the Falcons have all to play for here, and they're gonna win. The Saints are Drew Brees. That's all I can say. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. If Drew Brees is playing well, the Saints are playing well. If Drew Brees is scoring 49 points, then the Saints have scored 49. If the Saints have scored 49 points, they've come from Drew Brees. That's all I can say. Falcons, the Falcons are going to win here. I wouldn't be too surprised if Drew Brees pulled it off, because he does win against good teams every once in a while, like that Saints game. Anyway, Giants Redskins is our next game on the schedule here, and this is also another very interesting game I'd love to watch. I am predicting the Redskins, but this is a hard game to predict for me. I'm thinking about changing it again, but I'm gonna stick to the Redskins here. Giants have nothing to play for really, and they do. They could get that top seed against the over the Falcons, couldn't they? This is hard. I'm still predicting the Redskins. Kirk Cousins is gonna pull it out somehow. He's gonna get it done. That's all I can say here. I can say like, the defense is good and run defense, pass rush, yada yada yada. It's not about that anymore. It's about a divisional clash, and the skill is not number one here. Number one is just giving it your all this game, no matter which roster you have. Alright, same thing goes for Packers Lions. And the thing is, the Packers are just really hot right now. The Lions are not as hot, and if Matthew Stafford gets a fourth quarter comeback to make the playoffs, then that's cool, and then he's an MVP candidate again. Maybe not an MVP candidate, because the season overall is meh. It's good, it's okay, but those fourth quarter comebacks are just unbelievable. Still have the Packers winning it though. I can see Aaron Rodgers just beating down on this team, like last week after beating the Bears on the last minute bomb in Chicago. That's from Dave Damashek, by the way. Like in 2012, he this year beats the Bears on the last minute bomb in Chicago. He might do that again against the Lions, because I remember last year he did that in Detroit, I believe it was. So he might do it again. On the other hand, it might just be a 23-13 game as the Packers win and the Lions just stink. That's also a possibility. I'm predicting the Packers though. So these are really all my picks for the week. Now there's one thing I must say. My Elgato is absolutely screwing up right now. I probably told you before. Last time I just click on record. It's funny. Click on record, and the Elgato, it says on the bottom right, recording, and like, don't end this, and like, focus on your recording, yada yada yada. But it's not actually recording. It's really funny. The red button on the bottom is then blinking and saying it's recording. Then I end the recording and it doesn't record. Sounds weird, I know. Oh well. So I guess I'm just gonna continue bringing these videos until I might actually get my Elgato fixed. I don't know what to do anymore. I wrote them an email. The email dude is just writing back. He says, download this on our webpage, and yeah, blah 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 blah. Nothing helpful, and now he's just ignored me and not writing back. So that's funny, right? Anyways, I'm gonna continue bringing these videos. I think that should be fine. I'd like to thank you all for listening, and this has been your Week 17 advice from K.J. Picks.